Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
It was an emotional scene. The children of a murdered San Antonio woman standing face to face with their father for the first time since he killed their mother a little more than 2 years ago.
Brian Ramos was convicted in the shooting death of Josephine Ramos. Reporter Daphne Gray was in court for the sentencing and also heard the very strong words that his children had for him. Listen.
You made a bad decision. It's not fair.
Moments after Judge Jennifer Pena sentenced Brian Ramos for the murder of his wife, their daughter stood face to face with him, filled with emotion.
You exist. You're standing right there. My mom is ashes now.
Ramos was quickly arrested after he shot and killed Josephine Ramos in a parking lot off Goliad Road April 1st, 2019, a day before the couple's divorce was set to be finalized. He's been in the Bexar County Jail ever since.
Mr. Ramos, to the offense of murder, what do you plead, sir?
No contest.
I'm going to find you guilty.
I was 14. It's not fair that I have to graduate and none of my parents are there.
Josephine's sister and son also had words from Ramos.
Brian, I have so much hate in my heart for you. But all I can hear is my sister say, Monique, forgive him.
I'm mad at my brother and sister, but I can look at you eye to eye and not look away.
And you can rot in jail, and people can hurt you, and you're gonna finally know what that feels like. How you always used to tell me that actions have consequences. Well, now here you go.
Brian Ramos will spend the next 35 years of his life behind bars at the Texas Department of Corrections for the murder of his wife, Josephine Ramos. His attorneys tell me he'll be eligible for parole in about 15 years. At the Kadena Reeve Justice Center, Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Now new at 6, new records show that a Bexar County jailer was fired for allegedly kicking an inmate in the face. So according to suspension records, Corporal Jack Hernandez lost his job in the beginning of June for use of force of an inmate. Now records are showing that the incident happened in December of 2018 while Hernandez was responding to an inmate being disruptive. And that's when he allegedly kicked the inmate in the face. Hernandez filed an appeal in June, but the firing was still upheld.
A mystery in San Marcos. Police there trying to get to the bottom of what appears to be a deadly shooting. Police responded to a shooting at the cottages of San Marcos Sunday afternoon, a little before 2:30. That's where they say they found the body of 19-year-old Levante Craig Benford. Officers say detectives are working with witnesses and looking for clues to help identify a suspect in this case. Benford's body sent to Travis County for an autopsy. We're told he was not a student at Texas State.
Here in San Antonio, police trying to figure out who opened fire on a man who was driving on the city's west side last night. Officers say the victim was driving down South General McMullen when someone started shooting from another vehicle. That was around 11 p.m. The victim was hit in the leg. He pulled over, called 911. He was taken to the hospital. He is expected to be okay, but at this point, police haven't released a description of the suspect or the suspect's vehicle.
It's primates at the forefront of the research that led to the COVID-19 vaccines. Texas Biomed says its animal models will be just as essential in the response to Omicron, to the variant, the latest variant of COVID-19. Texas Biomed, located in San Antonio, already has been studying how COVID-19 mutates into variants like Omicron. So its president and CEO says last week's discovery in South Africa wasn't surprising. One of the biggest questions now is whether the vaccines will neutralize the heavily mutated variant.
And that raises some concern about whether at some point a virus may evade our immune system or our vaccines.
But Dr. Schlesinger says given the body's immune response to the vaccines is broad enough, he doesn't believe that's likely. However, he says it'll be another week or two before scientists know for sure just how contagious this variant is. This much they do know. He says the unvaccinated remain at highest risk. So being fully vaccinated with a booster shot, he says, is the safest bet.
No one lived there, but somehow a fire moved into an abandoned home on the west side of the city. Now flames just destroyed the structure and threatened another along Culebra, right near Hamilton. Katrina Weber has a closer look now at what happened.
An unexpected fireworks show sparked to life in the middle of a morning house fire. San Antonio fire crews answering the call shortly before 7 a.m. had to battle both in the 1300 block of Culebra Road.
Given the fact that the fire was coming out of the front, it was a well-developed fire when we got here.
They found no one living in the home. In fact, no one there at all. Once firefighters realized that this house was empty, they focused on trying to keep the fire from spreading to this building next door. But they quickly found out that that wasn't exactly easy to do. Firefighters had a tough time moving in due to the live power line.
It was preventing us from working in an entire corner of the building and accessing one side.
With blast of water from their truck, they eventually were able to begin conquering the fire. But with no electrical expert help available right away, they remained hands-off with the power line. It sparked for nearly an hour.
One CPS guy that was here handles gas, and then so he was trying to get a hold of somebody to come out, but it did eventually just take care of itself.
In the end, no one was hurt. Investigators now are working to find out what sparked the fire that sent sparks flying. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
There's just one more day left to help the San Antonio Police Department collect shoes for kids who need them. Tomorrow, the last day to drop off your shoe donation at any SAPD substation. We need shoes of all sizes, from toddlers to teenagers. After tomorrow, all the shoes collected will be given to Good Samaritan Community Services. They will deliver to the kids in time for the holidays. What does the future of student journalism across the Alamo College campuses look like? Back in October, San Antonio College officials announced the student newspaper, The Ranger, would stop publishing after 95 years. Due to factors including budget cuts and retirement of faculty and the pandemic, all factors that went into that decision. Well, tomorrow, a public meeting to talk about the evolution of journalism and media. Today, the chancellor of the Alamo Colleges spoke to our Alicia Barrera.
It was originally reported that the award-winning student paper, The Ranger, would come to an end this fall semester. Alamo College District Chancellor Dr. Mike Flores says that's not the case.
The current publication is called The Ranger. It is digital, and that will continue.
Rocky Garza Jr., managing editor for The Ranger, admits he's relieved.
We're just hoping that they hire the right person for the right position to continue The Ranger itself.
A rebranding could be possible, but exactly how student journalists will reach their fellow students is still up for discussion.
We've been talking about talent at only one school. We have 4 other schools, and so I think that is an enhancement in the student pipeline, in particular for journalists. We have a responsibility, and we look forward to engaging professional journalists as part of that conversation.
Garza says the focus should remain at San Antonio College.
You're able to be in an actual lab, in a writing lab. You're able to sit in a dark room, learn how to edit photos, compared to if you're at a Palo Alto, you're just learning how to write.
The conversation begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the district office off of North Alamo and Broadway.
The biggest question is, what's the plan? How are we going to determine how we keep the program here at SAC? How do we boost enrollment numbers?
It's a semi-structured engagement. We're going to report out on what the current state and future state of the student publication, The Ranger, San Antonio College. We're going to have a futurist talk about journalism.
A future that may go far beyond SAC to include digital radio and television.
Tomorrow's event is invite only. However, the conversation doesn't end there. Alamo Colleges says that this is actually the first of several engagements that they have planned in order to improve the vision for their communications program. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Live cam tonight, out and about, 63 degrees. And yes, that is a beautiful sunset off in the distance.
Indeed, a perfect night to be out and about, right? Nothing like we had last week.
Yes, very different out there and cool. We've got basically jacket weather again tonight. Even though the afternoons you can be in short sleeves, the mornings, jacket weather. 40 degrees earlier today. That was our low temperature around sunrise. By the afternoon, we topped out at 70. And it was even cooler in some outlying areas earlier this morning. We'll get into that later. Let's talk about the current numbers. Bernie 55, Stinson 65, Hondo 64, New Braunfels now at 59. Temperatures falling off pretty quickly this evening, and by 10 o'clock, we'll start to dip down into the mid, maybe even lower 50s at that point. And then tomorrow morning, low to mid 40s. So another cool start to the day. Then we do have some noticeable changes to talk about. I'll even get into the latest on our rain chances in just a bit.
All right, if you're one to wait until after Thanksgiving to pick up a Christmas tree, You're not alone. At least one local tree stand reports business is up this year.
So here's the thing, right? Getting that tree safely from the stand to your home, that's the most important part, right? Because you really don't want to have problems with any other drivers. Our Samuel King is here with more on that. Samuel.
Stephanie and Steve, highways are often littered with all kinds of debris, ladders, even furniture, and this time of year, Adam, Christmas trees. They had fewer trees and fewer buyers last year to Holiday Hills Christmas Tree Stand off State Highway 151. This year, business is brisk.
People want something to lift them up. And Christmas, I've found in San Antonio, in Texas in general, is big.
Judy Harland and her husband run the stand, and they make sure everyone who leaves here with a tree does so safely.
They will actually strap it down, tie it down. We have twine. We have a special way that we tie it down so that the tree's not going to fall off the car until they cut it off.
Daniel Armbruster with AAA Texas says that's important for not only Christmas trees, but also things like ladders and furniture. There were more than 1,300 crashes involving unsecured loads in Texas last year, with one death and several injuries.
And the problem with those items is they can fall and then they become road debris. And oftentimes we'll see another vehicle hit that road debris. It can do damage to another vehicle, or that debris can fly up and injure or kill someone in another vehicle.
AAA Texas says it's important to have the right type of vehicle if you're coming to pick up a Christmas tree or other large item, maybe a pickup truck or an SUV like this one that has racks on the top to better secure those large items. And finally, slow down. Taking the back roads might be a better option.
Extra speed can create significant airflow that can damage your tree and even challenge even the best of tie-down methods. So it's really important just to make sure that you're monitoring your speed and going at or below the speed limit.
Holiday Hills actually has a delivery service for a fee if you don't have the right type of vehicle to take that tree home. And like many businesses, they say they're dealing with a labor shortage, so they're hiring for that holiday rush, deliveries and all. And traffic this evening, if you're on the east side, slow going, not much of a rush at all at 35 at Loop 410 this evening. We are seeing some busy traffic this evening now that the holiday is over. The Thanksgiving holiday anyway is over. Taking a look at Loop 410, we've had issues here all day. So between 281 and I-10, 10 to 11 minutes in each direction there. So watch out for that. Also watch out for this starting at 11. So you still have a few hours for this. There's going to be periodic closures here at the Loop 1604 and Blanco Road intersection as part of that major project there on the north side. You might have noticed some delays there, 21 minutes already westbound 281 to I-10. So watch out for that this evening. Some busy traffic out there. Construction starting back up after the holiday weekend too, guys.
All right, Sam, thank you.
By the way, I helped my father-in-law move his Christmas tree, pick up his Christmas tree on Friday. So
no trouble, right?
No trouble.
No trouble. You're here.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful view here from Sky 12 right now over the Incarnate Word, right? University of the Incarnate Word right now. Just a beautiful sight here. Just puts you right in the holiday mood. 6:15 right now, 62 degrees. And let's keep the holiday theme coming because our friend Adam Caskey has a treat for you.
It's that time of year. You know I love this time of year. I sometimes start my thermometer ornaments that I give 2 away per day between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'll sometimes start them in April, right after Fiesta. It's a big deal. I love it. So I'll be giving away 2 per day. I announced a winner at 5. I'll be announcing a winner after the 7-day forecast and telling you how you can enter the drawing. And of course, some of the designs displayed on the tree right behind me here. But let's get to the forecast because you like that? That was some... Yes. I almost have that.
I mean, it's like Price is Right, Vanna White stuff right there. I mean, you've got a future if the weather thing doesn't work out.
Or something like that. Okay.
You kind of lost me there, though.
Whatever. I lose you pretty easily on purpose. All right. So look at the temperatures this morning. We hit freezing. Kerrville and Fredericksburg at 32. Uvalde, though, 39. Hondo, 38 earlier today. We felt the chill out there. It's going to be another cool start to the day tomorrow. And then temperatures will be on the upswing a little bit, at least in the morning. So let's talk about it. First, the readings outside right now. By and large, we're right around 70 southwest of town. Locally, we're down in the 60s, and these temperatures are falling off quickly. I mean, basically every 30 minutes, these temperatures are a lot lower as the readings come in. So sometimes this time of day in these conditions, what you see on the screen, lags behind a few degrees from what's actually happening out there. It's hard to update the system so quickly. Eagle Pass, that's an error saying 50, but 59 New Braunfels, 61 in Kerrville, Pleasanton now at 63 and 66 in San Antonio. Tomorrow morning, low to mid 40s for most of us. Some lower 40s in the hill country, maybe even some upper 30s in parts of the hill country. About 41 in Bernie, 41 Lake Hills, Timberwood Park 43, and 44 downtown San Antonio. By the afternoon, we see temperatures back into the lower 70s. So jackets in the morning, but short sleeves are fine by the afternoon. I mean, Hondo about 75, Converse 73, and Stone Oak about 73 for the high temperature. And our high temperatures aren't going to change a whole lot all the way through this upcoming weekend. We're generally looking at highs in the 70-degree range. So low 70s tomorrow, then a little closer to 80, upper 70s by this weekend. And it does look like a cold front will just reset us back down into the upper 60s by this time next week, okay? Nothing you really have to plan for right now. Afternoons are going to be pleasant, but the morning tomorrow is going to be chilly. We talked about that. One reason is the dry air in place. Dew points down in the 40s, so lack of mugginess or stickiness in the air. A lot of people enjoy this, including myself, but then we get later into the week. Thursday, dew points back to 60 degrees, some mugginess back in the air, and dew points well into the 60s on Friday. So that's when you'll really notice that mugginess briefly back in the air. I want to show you our nice time lapse this evening of that sun setting. I love it. Sunset shortly after 5:30 p.m. Those clouds are moving in from Mexico, and that's actually some Pacific moisture that's being thrown our way from a little disturbance that's over the Baja Peninsula. Not a lot to this disturbance. Not a lot of moisture, a little bit of lift in energy, but not a whole lot in terms of rainfall associated with it. But this upper level swirl, that disturbance, that's thrown some of that Pacific moisture way above us our way. And sometimes it can combine with other features to kickstart showers. We still have generally dry air in place, indicated by this kind of orangish red color. The deeper moisture is still over the Pacific, and it's not all that deep, but indications are later this week by Friday and into the weekend, we could kickstart a few showers and thunderstorms from that system and its energy. Tomorrow, another sunny day. Low to mid 40s in the morning. By the afternoon, we're back into the 70s. And then fog developing, I think, pretty quickly after sunset tomorrow evening. We'll have some fog developing, and that means Wednesday morning, we'll have the fog for the morning commute and a little more cloud cover than sunshine, basically Wednesday all the way through the upcoming weekend. Notice those morning temperatures on the rise gradually back into the low 60s by the end of the week. Eric Erickson Jr., the winner of a homemade thermometer ornament, the Eric Erickson Jr. who just received an email from me regarding this. You can go to ksat.com/thermometer to enter the drawing. 2 a day.
Awesome, and good luck.
Yes.
All right, good stuff. Now we're going to go over to our friend Greg Simmons, who's joining us live from the AT&T Center. So, Greg, these aren't the Wizards that we're used to seeing.
No. In fact, they've had as much as a 6-game win streak this season. They're on a 2-game win streak coming into this game, so they will not be easy to beat tonight here in the AT&T Center. When we come back, a live preview. Also, when we come back, can the Roadrunners rebound from the worst game of their season and their only defeat coming up? Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to the AT&T Center, where tonight the Spurs put an end to their 4-game holiday homestand before they head out on a 3-game West Coast road trip. Hope to put together back-to-back wins for the first time this season when they play host to the Washington Wizards. Now, these are not the Wizards of old by any stretch of the imagination. After recording 3 straight losing seasons, the Wizards have actually gotten off to a good start this year, winning 13 of the first 20 games. Now sit 3rd in the Eastern Conference after back-to-back wins against Oklahoma City and Dallas on their current 4-game road trip. They are now closing out tonight here in San Antonio with former Spurs Davis Bertans returning with the Wizards after he was traded to Washington in 2019.
I always enjoy seeing, ex-teammates go and perform well and find a, kind of a role where they're at. And I'm sure he's enjoying it. So, I'm happy for all my ex-teammates that are doing well.
All right, here is a matchup tonight. Highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat. The UTSA Roadrunners are preparing for their biggest game of their life when they play host to Western Kentucky for the Conference USA Championship this Friday in the Alamo Dome. The Roadrunners are coming off their worst performance and their only loss of the season when they were blown out by North Texas and Denton on Saturday, 45-23. In that loss that spoiled their perfect season, the Roadrunners committed 3 turnovers in the first half alone that allowed the Mean Green to jump out to a 31-13 lead at halftime. Now they face Western Kentucky, the same team they beat in Week 6 on the road, 52-46. Can the timing of this loss provide an extra chip on the team's shoulder against the Hilltoppers?
I've seen it where it's cost you 2 games in a row, and I've seen it where you fight back and you play better. It's just a matter of our mindset. It really is. It's a great question. Is North Texas going to beat us twice? I'll let you know Friday at 10. Is this going to be what makes us win a conference championship? I'll let you know Friday at 10. I don't know. If I knew, obviously nobody else thinks so because we started out a favorite and we're already an underdog, so America believes we're done.
All right, to his point, the Roadrunners opened up as 2-point favorites, but are now 1.5-point underdogs. Lincoln Riley arrived in Los Angeles today as the new head coach of USC. Many are in disbelief that he would leave Oklahoma for the USC job, especially since the Sooners were getting ready to jump to the SEC. But maybe that fact alone was a factor in his decision to head west and play in the Pac-12. Quarterback Spencer Rattler has already has already entered the transfer portal, and other commits are starting to back out. Now, look who's come out of retirement. Bob Stoops to step in as the interim head coach. The Brennan Bears are headed to the state high school quarterfinals in football after they were able to remain undefeated, number 1 in 12's top 12, after outscoring Austin Bowie 59-36 to advance to the 6A Region 4 Division I championship game against Lake Travis, putting their 13-0 record on the line against the Cavaliers' 11-2 record Saturday at 2 in Dripping Springs.
It's very exciting, We came a long way throughout the whole year. We just kept getting better, kept, executing each week, and it's very exciting to go against Lake Travis.
They're a great team, they have a legacy of greatness there, had a couple state championships. I know Baker Mayfield came from there, so it's just kind of, we got to match their intensity, and we got to prove to them that, we're not someone to overlook.
And you'll be able to see that game live on KSAT 12.2 this Saturday at 2. Live from the AT&T Center, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Our KSAT Q&A up next. Epidemiologists are like disease detectives.
Yes.
How do I know that? Our next guest taught me that. Charisse Rohr Allegrini is an epidemiologist. She works right now at the San Antonio AIDS Foundation, but she's worked at many different places, and we lean on her expertise in times like this, especially when we're talking about variants and something called Omicron or Omicron. It's been pronounced so many different ways today. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but how concerned do you think we should be about it, Charisse?
I think it's important to stay concerned about every variant that comes up. That doesn't mean we need to panic. That means we need to be watching it. We need to pay attention to the spike protein to see if it's different. We need to do the epidemiology that we honestly haven't done enough of all along. And I say that across the country and really across the world. We need to stay on top of it. But as individual citizens of our country, we need to just continue the methods that we've been doing, and that's be prepared and take precautions.
One word that I keep being used to describe this new variant is mild symptoms. That's what people say. But could you kind of walk through these symptoms for us and explain how they differ from the previous variants?
Sure. Well, initially COVID was fairly mild with flu-like symptoms. Flu can be pretty bad, but generally you get a fever, you get a headache, shortness of breath, and then that can become more serious. But for most people, it's fairly mild. When we saw the Delta variant come up this summer, it actually was very severe in many, many more people than the previous variants. Now, with the Omicron variant so far, and again, there's been, less than 1,000 cases documented, it looks like we are seeing mild symptoms. Now, that might change as time goes on, but as of today, it still seems to be more mild than the Delta variant. Now, that might change tomorrow, but as of an hour ago, that's what we saw.
Yeah, and obviously it's thought that this started in South Africa, has spread to Europe already. I mean, it's not really a question of if it's going to be in the United States. It's more of a question of when, correct?
Right, and let me be clear, we don't know that it started in South Africa.
Okay.
South Africa has a very good record of sequencing. They're really on top of it. They're paying attention. They're the ones that identified it first. That doesn't mean that's where it originated. Now, most of the cases we're seeing are in South Africa. South Africa has also a very low vaccination rate, where you're more likely to see a new variant occur because you don't have the vaccination to slow transmission. Now, it's possible it started there. It's possible it started somewhere else. But you're right. It isn't every continent pretty much. We haven't identified it yet in the U.S., but that's because we haven't looked for it. I expect us to have a report that we have U.S. cases any day now.
You know, it's interesting. One term that I haven't heard recently is herd immunity. No. I think we've gotten past the point where we kind of understand that COVID is just something that we have to learn to live with, right?
That's true, but herd immunity is still very valid and still very important. Herd immunity doesn't mean that we get rid of the virus completely. Of all the viruses for which we have vaccines, the only one that we've actually eradicated is smallpox. We still have measles, we still have polio, we still have a number of other things existing in the world. But because of herd immunity, the cases typically are very low and we don't often see epidemics. We still want to get there with COVID. We're not going to get to zero COVID anytime soon, but we can get to a point where we can control the spread of COVID, and we do that through herd immunity.
I'm curious your take on this, Charisse, because I know you're a straight shooter. You tell us how you feel about certain things. There have been people today and over the weekend who have suggested that this is just this is a media brought up phenomenon, that we're going to see variants every time around Election Day, and that this isn't something that's real. How do you answer that?
It's very real. Ask anybody in South Africa and in a number of countries where we're seeing it. It's very, very real. That it's more mild than Delta at this point, it doesn't mean that it's not important. It means we need to keep studying it. We want to make sure it doesn't become a problem, and we're only going to know that by staying in front of it, by vaccinating, and continue to sequence as many strains as possible to identify new variants. We're going to be lucky if this one is not extreme. We've had other variants like Lambda is one, and there was another one early on Beta that we were very concerned about, and it turned out to honestly not be that big of a deal. Delta was one that was a huge deal. So we might be okay with Omicron. Maybe it's not as bad as we're worried about, but that doesn't mean the next one's not going to be. So we really need to continue the science, continue the sequencing, paying attention to new patients that come in, making sure we're understanding it so that we can predict what's going to happen next with this virus.
So we haven't seen that many cases of this just yet, but do we understand, or have we seen how it affects children in particular?
So far, there doesn't appear to be a difference in how the Omicron variant affects children. It's really sounded like most of the cases they've seen so far were in adults and primarily in unvaccinated individuals. But again, I just looked an hour ago, and there are less than 1,000 documented cases with the Omicron variant worldwide. Now, as we see more, we're going to start to understand more about it and how it impacts children. We do know that Delta had a pretty significant impact on children. Omicron may not, but the next one might.
It's interesting you bring that up. I've heard many different people that have said this is something that we just need to keep track of, and that you don't necessarily need to change your behaviors except for how they've already been changed by COVID. Do you echo that when we're talking about vaccines and masks?
Absolutely. So I have insisted on vaccination and mask wearing all along. Now, I admit that I've gotten a little bit slack on wearing my mask everywhere. I do wear it in public places. I still recommend that. It's not good just for COVID. We had a very low flu season last year, probably because of mask wearing. Now, I know people want to stop mask wearing, and I'm sure we're going to get to that point within the next year that we won't have to be wearing masks all the time. But masks really form a barrier, and they help us. If Omicron manages to escape the vaccine, the mask will be that next layer of protection. And that's going to be important to keep up with that for a little while longer.
All right. I heard a very important saying once. It was, you either get the vaccine or you get the virus.
That's exactly it. And I would strongly recommend the vaccine.
Charisse Royale-Agrini, epidemiologist with the San Antonio AIDS Foundation, a disease detective. Always appreciate your expertise.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. We'll start our look at construction west of San Antonio, out near Del Rio. The TxDOT Laredo district telling folks about this sort of alternating lane closures in this area, Highway 90, just a little east of the Air Force Base near the Kinney, Valverde County line. So if you travel out there, watch out for that. Back here in town, we have a lot of issues, but we do also have some construction, including on 1604. The Segment 3 project we've been telling you about, and this closure here at 1604 Blanco overnights this week. It does begin at 11, so it's not like some of the ones that begin at 8 or 9 or something like that. This one actually begins at 11, runs through 5 a.m. Intermittent closures of that intersection and the entrance ramp, so watch out for that. Now look at some incidents because things are still busy out there, including I-10 eastbound at Callahan Road, a crash there. So inside 1604, 24 minutes from 1604 to downtown on I-10, 13 minutes heading outbound, just to give you an idea of the delay. And we have a view of that crash here, closing at least one lane. This is, again, I-10 at Callahan heading into town, and they've been here for a little bit now, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on in terms of the crash there, but those lanes are still closed. You can still see police there. Really quickly, let's take one more look at another crash here. This is Loop 410 at Ray Ellison. Had some issues there this morning, so you are seeing the impact there. A lot busier this week than it was last week. People out and about running errands, maybe doing some shopping ahead of the holidays, guys.
You know, Samuel, you're going to be out there in the morning, right? We are going to Henley's Men's Grooming, and they are going to shave our beards in the morning. Sam, your beard is looking great. I think it's a shame they're shaving yours. Mine's got to go, though. It's a little itchy.
61 degrees right now. Let's go to Adam Caskey.
9 a.m. in the morning on GMSA at 9.
That's right.
There you go.
I've had people ask me, why doesn't Adam Caskey grow a beard?
You ever watch the show Simpsons? I look like Cletus.
Oh, no.
I do. And you can't even tell. I have to put mascara on it so you can even see it. It's terrible. I look horrible. Horrible. I did Movember where I grew a mustache 1 year. We did it when I worked in D.C. Never again. Never again.
I explained that to people.
Yes.
Just not as concisely as you did.
It's not meant for me. All right, 66 right now. We'll be down in the mid-50s by 10 o'clock. Temperatures falling off quickly this evening. We'll talk about how morning temperatures will be changing in the days ahead. And, of course, some slight rain chances in just a bit.
Christmas watch now. Looks like the White House is ready for the holidays. First Lady Jill Biden unveiling this year's theme and decor titled Gifts from the Heart. Her office says that it was inspired in part by the challenges of the coronavirus pandemic.
More than 100 volunteers from the local area spent a week decorating the inside and outside of the White House. The display includes 41 Christmas trees, 6,000 feet of ribbon, 300 candles, more than 10,000 ornaments, nearly 79,000 holiday lights.
So, when we talk about that, we got to talk about this too. We are officially in the holiday shopping season. Black Friday and Small Business Saturday have come and gone, and we've almost made it through Cyber Monday. Since 2005, the first workday after Thanksgiving has been known as Cyber Monday.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't know it's Cyber Monday, you probably haven't opened your emails yet, because I swear there are tons of Cyber Monday emails for me. It started when people back in the office after the holiday began shopping online from their work computers. Now, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday covers several days, a lot of sales starting over the weekend. Some retail experts believe supply chain issues may actually encourage more people to shop in brick and mortar stores instead of online this year. But cyber shopping expected to increase to $3 billion in sales this year.
Wow.
So I guess Cyber Monday is kind of catching on.
It's kind of a thing now.
Yeah, I guess it's
I got to say, though, it's especially great to do that when the weather isn't so great or if it's rainy out. But, today was pretty decent.
Yeah, today was a nice
Saturday
day.
was a good day for cyber shopping.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Didn't get any Christmas lights put up on Saturday and didn't even go get the tree. Wasn't worth it. I had to wait a little bit. And speaking of shortages, I noticed a bit of a tree shortage, at least where I usually shop. And it's the smallest tree I've had in years. It looks a little different.
People say there's a maple syrup shortage.
Have no idea.
Yeah, it's kind of a sticky situation, I guess.
I knew it was coming. Okay, let's move on here. Cut his mic. Thank you. He'll
No,
be here all
seriously,
night.
there is
I
a
know
May
there
Fool's
is. Okay, it's true. Another chilly night tonight. Humidity, it returns later this week, and then just some small rain chances to talk about. I'll show you that disturbance. And let's take a look at our time lapse. This is actually from Canyon Lake. This is from Jeff Hassler of Canyon Lake. And for some reason, it's not animating right now. Anyway, that's a nice shot of the sunset this evening from Canyon Lake. Right now, we're at 66 degrees. So thank you to Jeff Hassler for sending that in. You look at temperatures across our area, and we're mostly in the 60s. Del Rio is 71, but Austin 57. Alpine at 56. Around town here, for the most part, 60s. Uvalde now 58 degrees. Meanwhile, Cotulla, not that far away, at 70. We're all seeing these temperatures fall off pretty quickly and efficiently. So by tomorrow morning, you'll notice the chill in the air, jacket weather at the bus stop. Low to mid 40s across our area, possibly even dipping down into the upper 30s in the hill country. So Canyon Lake about 43, along with Carrizo Springs, Stone Oak 43, Bernie 41, and 44 tomorrow morning in Von Army. Now, as the humidity gradually returns and the mugginess slowly works its way back into town, our morning temperatures will go back up. That dew point doesn't just tell us how comfortable or uncomfortable and sticky it is outside, but it's also an indicator of how much the temperature can drop at night. So when you have those higher dew points, well, morning temperatures are back up. We don't cool off as much at night and in the early morning. So dew points now in the 40s, and we have the lack of mugginess out there, but you see that trend here. By Thursday, dew point back to 60 degrees. So sticky and muggy outside, and that's going to last all the way at least into Friday. There's a cold front that could hit us Saturday morning or as we get into Sunday morning and get rid of that humidity. Bottom line, gradual increase in the mugginess, and you'll especially notice it by the end of the week and the first part of the weekend. Just some clouds coming in from the west and southwest, streaming in from the Pacific, moving over Mexico, now moving their way over our area, just like the picture you saw there from Canyon Lake and even our local time lapse this evening. And just some broken high clouds overhead, and they're being pushed our way from this upper disturbance over the northern Baja Peninsula. Of course, you have the counterclockwise circulation around that upper low, and that's throwing some of that upper level moisture up into our area. So just a little bit of cloud cover with that, but it could generate a few showers later this week and into the weekend. So let's get into the forecast here. Tomorrow, cool start to the day, low to mid 40s. By the afternoon, we're 73. Decent amount of sunshine tomorrow, but I anticipate with that little increase in humidity, by tomorrow evening, fog developing. So that'll be the case for the Wednesday morning commute. We'll have some fog to contend with. Morning temperatures back in the low 60s by Friday. Afternoons, they don't change very much. We're looking at 70s, basically the rest of the week and into the weekend, and just a 20% chance. So a slight chance of a few storms popping up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Of course, a lot hinges on that upper system, and those upper systems can be temperamental, so we'll keep you updated and fine-tune that forecast.
All right, Adam. Thank you.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
Welcome back, and here's today's In Case You Missed It.
Good morning to you. It is Monday, November 29th. New this morning, San Antonio police left with lots of questions after a man was shot in the leg while driving on the city's west side. This happened just before 11 last night. According to police, the man was driving down South General McMullen when shots were fired toward him from another vehicle. He was shot in the leg but was able to pull over and call for help. Now, power line damaged by the fire began sparking, causing fire crews to keep their distance. This fire broke out just after 6:30 this morning on Culebra near North Hamilton. In spite of the danger, firefighters managed to knock it down and keep them from spreading to the building next door. The power line sparked for nearly an hour before it burned itself out. No one was hurt. No one lived in the home. There's no word on how all of this started.
This variant is a cause for concern, not a cause for panic.
Those we spoke to at this pop-up vaccination clinic seem to echo what President Biden had to say about the Omicron variant.
We've been through a lot so far, and I think that we're going to get through this next round as well.
Every so often, we're not done with this pandemic yet, so I'm definitely looking forward to finding more out about it.
Until more is known about Omicron, experts say the safest bet is to get fully vaccinated and get that booster.
And No Shave November almost over, and we here at KSAT have been able to raise $16,466 at last count. That's well past our goal of $10,000. How about that? It's all thanks to your generous donations. This is a look at our leaderboard. Mike Osterhage still on the top.
You'll have some slowdowns on Loop 410 on the north side, 10 minutes between I-10 and 281. So if you're heading to North Star Mall this evening, watch out for that. Here's a look at TransGuide. See flashing lights there, Loop 410 at Northwest Military. Also wanted to tell you about this crash here. This was I-10 at Callahan. Looks like the tow truck is there. So that's good news. But again, on Loop 410, just watch out for slow traffic this evening. Hopefully that clears up soon. Adam?
All right, tomorrow morning, feeling the chill in the air will be low to mid 40s, about 43 in Stone Oak and New Braunfels, 41 Seguin, and 44 to start the day in Von Army. By the afternoon, short sleeves are just fine. We'll have sunshine, get into the lower 70s. Lake Hill's about 73, along with Lavernia, and 71. The high tomorrow in Timberwood Park. Morning temperatures are on the rise again, so one more chilly start to the day, and then we're looking at mornings back in the 50s and even lower 60s the rest of the week. High temperatures not changing much. Basically just staying in the 70s, and just 20% rain chances Friday through the weekend.
All right, Adam. Thank you. Thank you for watching us.
We'll see you back here on the Night Beat at 10.